Hello everyone, and welcome to my next DIY project. Here I have an old hot glue gun that hasn't been used for a long time, and today I'll check whether it still works. First, I connect the glue gun to a power source and switch it on. However, even after waiting for a while, the glue gun shows no signs of working, indicating that it has failed. But instead of throwing it away, I'm going to reuse its internal components to build a simple soldering tool. First, I use a screwdriver to remove all the screws from the glue gun housing so I can open it and access the internal components. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss my latest videos. Next, I remove all of the internal components from the hot glue gun and cut off the power cord, since these parts won't be needed for the new design. I keep the glue gun housing to use as the body of the soldering tool. Its pistol grip design makes the tool comfortable to hold and easy to operate. Here I have a basket of old used spark plugs. I'll choose one that's still in good condition to reuse as part of the soldering tool. Next, I remove the metal insert from a wire terminal block. First, I use a screwdriver to loosen the screws, then take the metal insert out of the plastic housing. This metal insert will serve as the connector between the soldering tip and the heating element, helping transfer heat while securely holding the parts together during assembly. This spark plug will be used as the heating component of the soldering tool. First, I strip the end of a small wire to prepare it for the connection. Next, I twist the stripped wire around the tip of the spark plug, creating a secure electrical contact. Then, I measure the wire against the length of the spark plug and trim off the excess, keeping the assembly neat and compact. At the other end of the wire, I strip a longer section of insulation to expose more of the copper conductor. Next, I wrap the exposed copper wire around the threaded metal section of the spark plug to create another connection point. Since most of the spark plug body is made of insulating ceramic, the wire must be connected using a bridge-style connection, allowing electricity to pass between the two contact points without relying on the ceramic section. I attach the metal insert to the spark plug, then tighten the screws with a screwdriver to secure it in place. Next, I use a longer piece of wire as the power lead for the soldering tool. First, I strip the end of the wire. Then twist the exposed copper around the loop at the end of the spark plug to create a secure connection. This connection allows electrical current to flow directly to the heating section, helping the soldering tip heat up efficiently. Next, I install the heating assembly inside the glue gun housing and adjust its position so it fits securely inside the body. Once everything is properly aligned, I reassemble the glue gun housing and tighten all of the screws to hold the internal components firmly in place. In the next step, I use an alligator clip and a metal washer to make the electrical connections. First, I strip the remaining wire from the homemade soldering tool. Next, I twist the metal washer onto the end of the wire to create a secure electrical contact. Then, I prepare a blue wire to serve as the ground lead. One end of this wire is connected to the alligator clip, allowing it to clamp securely onto the workpiece. The other end is attached to the metal washer, completing the ground lead for the homemade soldering tool. Next, I reuse an old battery to make a soldering tip. First, I use pliers to remove the outer metal casing of the battery. Then, I use needle nose pliers to grip the core inside and gently twist it out. Next, I wipe the metal core clean with a paper towel. This metal core has good electrical conductivity and heat resistance, making it suitable for use as a soldering tip. Next, I mount the core in a drill to shape it. I turn on the drill and press the tip against a piece of sandpaper to sharpen it. A sharpened soldering tip concentrates heat more effectively, making soldering more precise and easier, especially in small areas. Next, I install the homemade soldering tip into the heating assembly. At this point, the homemade soldering tool is fully assembled. Next, I use the battery from a cordless drill as the power source for the soldering tool. First, I connect the ground wire to the negative terminal, completing the electrical circuit. Then, I connect the soldering tool lead to the positive terminal of the battery. As soon as I touch the soldering tip to the metal clamp, sparks appear, and the tip heats up very quickly, showing that power is reaching the heating assembly. For the first test, I'll solder two electrical wires together. First, I twist the two wire ends together to create an initial mechanical connection. Next, I attach the ground clamp to the joint, then touch the soldering tip to the connection. Within just a few seconds, the copper heats up rapidly, the solder melts, and it flows evenly around the joint, creating a strong connection. After soldering, I let the joint cool for a moment. Now, I pull firmly on both ends of the wires in opposite directions to test the strength of the joint. As you can see, the solder joint remains intact without coming loose or breaking apart. For the next test, I'll solder two razor blades together. First, I place the two razor blades edge to edge and attach the ground clamp to one of them to complete the electrical circuit. Next, I touch the soldering tip to the joint while feeding solder into the connection. After the joint cools, I try pulling the two blades apart by hand. As you can see, they remain firmly connected without separating, showing that the solder joint is strong and reliable. With just a few recycled parts from an old hot glue gun, I was able to build a simple yet effective soldering tool. If you enjoyed this DIY project, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more creative builds. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.